I've gotten a ton of comments like this. Don't be scared. Be safe. It's horrible that I have to teach you these tips, but I do. The most common time of abduction is between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. Buddy system that shit. If you have anywhere to go, go with someone. Try not to wear your hair in a ponytail if you're running by yourself. It's easier for your attacker to grab you by a ponytail and just rip down. Do not comply. Scream loud. Scream fire, because people are more likely to come running for a fire than they are to help you. And that's so scary and so sad, but it's true. Talk to your parents about safety. Tell them you'd feel more comfortable with pepper spray or a pocket knife. Carry something on you. If anything, you can get a travel can size of hairspray from the dollar store and spray the shit out of them in the eyes with it. This one's gross. If they grab you, pee, throw up, do something. Anything disgusting. All of that while you're physically fighting them, kicking them in the junk, poking them in the eye, yanking their hair. It's gonna cause a scene and they'll leave. Like for part 2. This comment is so important. If a woman asks you to come with her because she needs you to look at something, do not. I repeat, do not go with her. Sometimes they're even trafficking victims themselves who are being forced to kidnap you. Do not do it. If you are running and trying to find help, find the first woman you see with a small child. If you can tell they are an actual mother, ask them for help. Check your back seat before you get into your car. And when you get in your car, don't sit on your phone, lock the doors and drive away. If someone is making you uncomfortable, pull out your phone and start taking pictures of them. Send them to someone. Because now not only do they have a face if that person does take you, most of the time if a person sees that you're sending pictures to someone, they'll stop. Look confident, because they are looking to take weak victims. I mean, do the thing that everyone does, pretend to be on the phone. And if a car pulls up next to you, turn around and start sprinting in the opposite direction. They're expecting you to run forward like any normal person would. Run back. You don't have to be scared. I did martial arts for 10 years. If you want self-defense techniques, let me know.
I'll never forget, I was involved with this anti-trafficking group, and I was at a dessert auction, and the proceeds would go to Love 146, which is a group where they house children that are rescued from sex trafficking. And I'll never forget what the guy said. He told a story of once when he was undercover, I believe in a different country, he went to a brothel to rescue children. And he said they literally handed him a menu, and the menu didn't contain food. It contained photographs of children. It contained how much for each thing that they could do for him. And he said they were like 3 years old, 5 years old, being sold for sex.
So sadly I won. And I'm not going to share the strategy that I use. I think I've given enough information away about it already. Someone asked in the last video I made, why am I scared or whatever. The last thing I want to do is to trigger a child or to cause a serious memory for them to remember, to have later on. I don't want to be the source of a child's trigger. If you've never been abducted or abused or molested or whatever, it's hard for you to grasp, and I understand that. The concept of why would somebody want to do this to a child? You've had a blessed life, and I'm grateful for that. Not all of us are that lucky, though. These two little girls were under the age of 10, and with less than 10 minutes worth of work, I was able to get them off their front porch and coming with me. You gotta watch your babies.
Here's a list of questions you can ask a loved one if you suspect that they're being trafficked or sexually exploited. If their boyfriend takes care of them 100%, meaning that they hold no physical cash value in their hands, anything they ask for, they get it. 2, they frequently traveling, but they won't disclose their location to you. If you ask them to come home politely, they'll just refuse, and that will not be an option. 3, scripted conversations, meaning if they have someone in the room with them, they're whispering, or they seem as if they're walking on eggshells. 4, ask what is their timeline. So look for keywords that they're saying. Is money important to them? Are they trying to go to school? Do they have people that they're living with, their friends? 5, ask them about their trauma. Have they been involved with any type of trauma? And just listen.
Yes, I'm a trafficking victim, someone you'd least expect. that to happen to. And I'm never going to shy away from that. I wrote a book, Apple's Dreams, coming out soon, to help young girls, young boys see the signs before they're stuck, mentally, physically, emotionally stuck in a predicament that they really don't know and understand that they're in. So, that being said, yes, my traffickers, I had two. One was studying to be a nurse, and she is a nurse now, and the other one is still doing the same thing. Now, I do have anger because of it, but am I going to act out on it? No, I'm going to better my life, see how her life is going, make sure she's still working as a nurse, and then I'm going to track her down in a couple years, sue her, and I'll call it even.
I'm going to reply to this comment before I start my rock series, The Rules of the Club. My name is Kimberly Anissa. I'm 22 years old. I was trafficked when I was 19 years old by someone who was supposed to be my boyfriend. I was set up with him on a blind date by a mutual friend, and I didn't know anything about him. All I knew was his voice, and we met up at the casino. Then he later took me to Toronto, where I found out that he had a bottom bitch. She was studying to be a nurse, and they broke up. So then he took me to Windsor, which is 3 hours away from Toronto, and that's when I was locked in the game. I was locked in. I couldn't leave. So then, how did I get out? So I owe these people $60,000. So my pimp set me up to get raped by the uncle, who was the ringleader of this whole organized crime this whole time. So that's how I got out. They basically let me out.
This is a very, very serious post. I was almost human trafficked.
Please check out this girl's video. Human trafficking is real, and a lot of casting places are super sketchy. I've heard about something like this before, and just seeing this on my For You page literally gave me the chills. This is how they trick you and scam you and getting you to go over there. They offer you all these promises that you think are super great, and then you go and it ends up being a sex trafficking ring. Please be careful, ladies. Even men, you guys have to be careful and always tell people where you're going and go with someone you trust. Look into the company before you just go. Never send nude photos, never send nude videos, nothing like that. Even for your kids, please. They will scam you even with Disney, Nickelodeon, claiming to be them and it's not.
How to recognize human trafficking, because you've seen it. Remember when trafficking was everywhere in the news a couple months ago? Well, we wanted the facts, so we pulled in expert Candace, who's the CEO of an anti-human trafficking organization, to ask her all of our questions. And it turns out, the media is not so helpful in identifying trafficking. So here's the truth. If you think human trafficking looks like this, then Candace has some news for you.
But you will never see us if you only think that trafficking is just child sex trafficking.
The average trafficked individual is 22 years old.
Some of these individuals are a single mom, those teenagers, foster care, orphans.
And 99% are women. We learned that
Human trafficking is so much more than just children being tied up in a basement.
So if you want to be an ally, check out the podcast everywhere podcasts are found.
Hey guys, pro tip, if you're ever worried about trafficking and vans parking next to your driver's side in a parking lot at a superstore, just park next to the cart return. Might be a little safer.
If you're somebody who ever travels or are against trafficking, which hopefully you at least answered yes to the second question, here's something you should know. Whenever you go to a hotel, take a couple pictures around the room, in bed, and different areas of the room. There's a website called Trafficking where you can upload the pictures to. This website is basically used as a database that people can help identify pictures of trafficked victims and compare the locations so they can help figure out where they are. Oftentimes, handlers will post pictures from the hotel rooms their victims are in, and it's a lot easier to be able to find a victim based on their photos or videos that they are posted in when people add to this database. There's also an app as well if you don't want to use the website, and this is just one little thing you can do that could make a huge difference in bringing somebody home.
Do you guys know what this is? I'll give you a spoiler alert. It's not the number of coronavirus cases in the US. This is a map of human trafficking, which is basically like modern-day slavery. It is the second largest criminal industry in the world, and currently 25 million people are enslaved in it. Child pornography is a $3 billion industry, and every year 800,000 children go missing. Only 1% are ever found alive. I know that the Human Trafficking Awareness Day has passed, but unfortunately we can't just dedicate one day to talk about this. Please educate your friends and family, share this, and inshallah, once we get educated, we can hopefully do something to stop this.
I'm a single female, and I just came out to my car, and I saw this thing there. I opened my hood to see like what it is, if it was locked there, tied to something, or if it was locked in on or stuck on something. But no, it is just this weird red shoelace that was cut, freshly cut. That's really weird. Super messed up. Everybody, just check your cars. Who knows what it was for, though? That's a really weird accident to happen. Just weird.
Okay, I saw someone else do this, and apparently Target is now a sex trafficking place or hub, and I would like to say what happened to me. So I live in Papillion, Nebraska, literally the smallest suburb on the planet, I feel, and I was at the Target that I always go to, and this woman walked in with seemingly her 16-year-old daughter, I don't know if it was her daughter or not, looks at me, speaks to the daughter looks at me, and then they speak to each other, and then they stop right in front of the sunglasses. I'm by the purses, so it's close, it's across an aisle from each other, and they move from the sunglasses to the socks, to the bras, to the underwear, literally in close proximity to me. So I move, think it's sketch, walk halfway across the store to the clothes, and I'm texting my boyfriend, telling him what happened, it's weird, and I look over, and they are 6 feet from me. So I dip, I go back to the complete other end of the store from where I walked in, and I'm calling on the phone with my boyfriend, and I look over, and they're 6 feet from me, following me around the store. Part 2. Okay, part 2 of almost potentially being sex trafficked at Target. So I'm on the phone with my boyfriend, literally trying to skedaddle from these people. And I'm like, what do I do? So I'm like, okay, there were 2 employees by the makeup where I was. I'm going to go back there and just stand right next to them. And as I'm sitting there just kind of like minding my own business, the woman is literally so close to me. So close to me. So I look to the employee and I'm like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And she's like, yeah. We go to the side. I'm like, this woman behind me is following me around the store. She's following me to 3 separate different locations. And then the woman is like probably like 4 feet from me. And I'm like, gesturing like, that's her, that's the woman. And then the employee pulls me off to the side where the woman can't see me. I explain to her what's happening. The employee walks me to the other end, well, was going to walk me to the other self-checkout lane at the very end of the store when we run to the security officer. I tell him what happened. He takes me to an actual checkout lane, so not self-checkout, and waits for me on the other side and escorts me to my vehicle, and we don't see the woman since then because she saw me talking to security.
Help me, Lord, help me. I have no idea what gave you the inkling that I was proud of being trafficked. I was proud of being 18 years old and set up by a man who I thought was my friend, and then forced to sell myself after being drugged and beaten and starved for 7 days. I don't know why you think that I am proud of that. But you know what I am proud of? My God, the work he's done in me, the power he's put in me to not only overcome this and heal, but to be a voice for the voiceless. Because do you have any clue how many women and children are still being trafficked right now? And I'm not one of them, and I'm not dead, and I still have a voice, and I'm proud of the fact that my God redeemed my life. And guess what? I'm going to keep sharing my story until the day I die. Because if I don't, who will? Who's going to speak for them? I don't know what you're proud of, but hopefully I cleared that up for you.
The Blue Whale Challenge is back, and it's a little bit different than the other ones, and every single video that I have seen on TikTok about this challenge and the updates has gotten taken down. The profile picture that they use has changed, and it looks like a nice, innocent looking girl with blonde straight hair with a blue bikini, unlike the scary looking ones that they've used in the past. The dangers of this challenge has also gotten extremely worse, to the point where you cannot block this person with this profile picture because they will find other ways and other methods to find you and harass you. I cannot show you the profile picture that they're using on TikTok because they're going to delete this video like the other ones, so if you want an image of that, go check out the Instagram and I will post down my story. Plus, even if you try to find other videos related to the updates of this challenge, obviously the hashtag is bandit1. Please stay safe and blow this up to help others stay safe.
Yeah, so me and my mom were just shopping right here in Dollar Tree, and I don't know where some guy approached us with a gun. He looked like he just wanted to just shoot all of us at the same time, or like something. I don't know, it was just very scary at the moment. I'm just telling you how to be safe out here. I don't know what these people are trying to do. Look, hold up. As you can see, the police are right there on. This is not it. I don't know if they were doing human trafficking, but they were doing something like very, like very dark or scary something. So I'm just telling you guys, please be safe when you're out here shopping.
Story time of one of the craziest and scariest things I've ever seen in a school. This isn't going into my Real Things series because that series is funny. This is not. One day when I was student teaching, a random man drove a brand new Bentley without any tags into the staff parking lot and parked right next to the school building. During class changes, he got out of his car and walked into the building with the high schoolers. He circled both the upstairs and the downstairs of the schools 2 or 3 times and approached multiple kids saying, if you come to my car, I'll make it worth your while. 6 or 7 kids agreed and went to his car and he handed each $100. He then told these kids, give me your number. Next time I'm around, I'll let you know. And if you bring a female with you, I'll triple that. He was trying to start a human trafficking ring in the high school parking lot. Out of all of these kids he interacted with, 1 thought it would be a good idea to tell the teacher. 6 hours later. Once admin was told, they were able to look at all the security cameras and confirm that this all happened. This all went down in the parking lot right next to the trailer I was in. I was scared to walk to my car alone for weeks.
Assumptions I'd make about you based on your favourite iconic British film, part 3. So do you cry to the soundtrack every day or is it just on weekends? You know Hugh Grant would make a better Prime Minister than Boris Johnson. I don't make the rules. I know for a fact you know every single line to every single song off by heart. Do not lie to me. Have you seen the first one? I mean, this one's good, but have you seen the first one? Same principle. Have you seen the other 2 films in the Cornetto trilogy? I mean, this one's good, but you think you are superior to everyone else on Earth for understanding this. And you might be, because I don't actually know, I haven't seen it. We get it. You like the Stone Roses, okay? You say this is your comfort film because it's the happy version of Trainspotting, but in reality it's just because it's absolutely wild. Also, did this make anyone else really fancy John Sim, or was that just me?
Morning everybody, got a little important PSA for ya. So the other day I was gathering buggies at work, and in one of the buggies I found this. Most of you have seen these. It's a little fake $1 million bill, and then it has like the Bible verse and other stuff on the back. The bills themselves are not bad. I mean, it's common to find religious pamphlets and stuff. But sometimes some bad people use these for trafficking. Like, basically, sometimes they'll use these as a distraction. They'll put them in your car doors or buggies or some other really weird or random place. And when you least expected, something could happen. Now, keep in mind, when I found this, the store was still open and it was still daylight, so I was pretty much safe. Somebody was able to see me. But if it's nighttime or you're just in a really sketchy area, and if you see this in a weird spot, do not touch it. Just want y'all to be safe.
This is not a joke, this is not a parody, this is not anything funny. My husband, if you've seen him on Instagram, he looks very similar to me, very similar in height, very similar in weight, okay? He works in Veneta, Oregon. We live in Eugene, Oregon. I'm putting this information out there to protect other people. He was off work and waiting to be picked up. I'm usually who picks him up. It was our cousin picking him up. A truck pulls up in front of him. They make a U-turn and they pull back around. They start telling him that he's pretty, and he's like, I'm a guy. And the person's like, I do not care. This person was older, about the age of 60 is what he said. Gray hair, black hands, no teeth, and driving a very, very new truck. If you see a person matching this description, please be careful. This person came back the 2nd day in a row for my husband to try to kidnap him. Men can be victims too, and it's just as scary.
Oh my god, guys, so I want to alert everybody. I was just coming from my home, and you know what, there were these a pair of kids' shoes on the road, and I don't know what my mind was thinking that it's a kid's shoes, or I don't know what I was thinking, and I stopped my car and I put it on hazard, and I got off to pick up the shoes and put it out of the road. Luckily there was a cop behind me, and one was coming from the other way, and he stopped and he said to me, don't ever do that again, because it's a way for those people like this trafficking thing to get you. And so just a warning out there to everybody: if you see kids' shoes on the road or anything like a crate of anything on the road, do not pick it up. Don't stop your car. Don't get out of your car. Be alert.